There are moments in life when love arrives not as a chance encounter, not as a fleeting spark that dances and fades with the wind, but as a deliberate, divine orchestration, a sacred appointment written into the blueprint of your very soul. When you are one of the chosen, love is never a coincidence. It does not appear carelessly, nor does it wander into your life by random happenstance. This is not the kind of love that ignites with a rush of shallow passion, a flame that burns brightly for weeks only to leave behind ash and regret. It is not the kind of connection that tempts you with intensity, a hollow echo that leaves your heart emptier than before. No, this love is deeper, more sacred than any human understanding can fully grasp. It is meticulously crafted, a reflection of divine purpose, carved into your destiny long before your feet ever stepped upon the path that would lead you to it. And when God Himself ordains someone for you, the very air around you shifts. You feel it in ways that your mind cannot yet decipher, a stirring in your spirit that whispers, even before words form, that something extraordinary has entered your life. Others might dismiss it as luck or coincidence, but your soul knows better. You recognize the fingerprints of the Almighty, scattered throughout every detail of this connection, in every glance, every shared silence, every instinctive knowing that this is not ordinary love, but sacred, intentional, God-sent love. In these moments, it becomes evident that waiting, guarding your heart, and refusing to settle were never burdens. They were preparation, sanctifying your spirit for what is to come. This love does not demand that you chase, manipulate, or compromise. Instead, it calls you to stillness, to alignment with a divine rhythm, to trust that the perfect timing has already been written in the heavens. And if you have ever questioned why your heart refuses to accept less, why your spirit resists settling for something that leaves you weary and restless, you are about to receive clarity. This is not information for mere contemplation. This is a spiritual unveiling, an illumination that can shift the very way you perceive love, not as a chaotic whirlwind that consumes and leaves you depleted, but as a steady current, purposeful and transformative, carrying you toward the fulfillment of your destiny. Before we delve further, take a moment to do something prophetic, a symbolic declaration that aligns your heart with God's perfect plan. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and type 99 in the comments. Biblically, 99 represents incompleteness, a journey not yet fulfilled, a story still waiting for its perfect resolution. By marking this act, you are declaring that you will not settle for anything less than the one who will make your heart complete, the person who fulfills the assignment God wrote specifically for your life. The world has lied to you, convincing you that love must be a storm, that it must toss you into chaos, keeping your heart racing and your mind spinning, replaying every word, every look, every silence, as though your soul depends on the intensity of the moment. Yet the design God has for love is nothing like that. His love is not a battlefield where you must constantly fight for scraps of attention, nor is it a tempest that leaves you questioning your worth or doubting your capacity to be loved fully. God's design for love is a sanctuary, a space where peace and presence replace confusion and anxiety, where steadiness and assurance are constants, even in the midst of uncertainty. When the one He has chosen enters your life, you will notice it instantly, not because they are perfect, not because every moment is flawless, but because their very presence carries a divine atmosphere that resonates with your spirit. Your breathing slows, your shoulders drop, your mind ceases its frantic racing, and a quiet whisper in your soul says, You are safe here. This is the first undeniable sign, the first confirmation that God's hand rests upon this connection. It is a peace that is not passive, not the hollow pretending of calm in the face of chaos. It is a stillness that grounds you, holding you steady even when circumstances are uncertain. You may not see every step of the journey ahead, but you will know without question that you are exactly where you are meant to be, a knowledge that acts as a compass, guiding you back to truth no matter how life's twists and turns attempt to pull you off course. This peace is the mark of divine love, a quiet yet powerful confirmation that what is before you is not random, not superficial, but meticulously designed by the Creator to align with the rhythm of your life. And yet, the enemy is never idle. He sends those who mimic stability, those whose presence feels safe, but ultimately drains your soul, attempting to counterfeit God's divine love. He dresses chaos in the disguise of passion, intensity masquerading as intimacy, and it is easy to mistake the hollow roar of a false flame for something sacred. Many have fallen for these illusions, mistaking the heat of emotional whiplash for the warmth of a true connection. But God's love does not leave you restless or desperate. The right person, the one sent by heaven, will make you feel seen without your having to shout, heard without the need for endless explanation, valued without proving yourself repeatedly. And here is where it deepens further. Sometimes this peace, this divine quiet, will feel almost unnatural, even frightening if you are accustomed to chaos. Your heart may question why it does not race, why your mind does not spin with anxiety or doubt. This is precisely the point. God is rewiring you, reshaping your understanding of love so that you no longer accept emotional turbulence as the standard. Real love, the kind He ordains, is an anchor for your soul, a sanctuary where silence is comfortable. Disagreements are resolved with respect rather than destruction, and vulnerability becomes freedom instead of danger. Even when shadows fall, when life casts uncertainty or pressure upon your path, the presence of the one He has chosen will serve as a quiet light, a reminder that you are not alone, that God is with you, that this love is under His guidance and protection. You will notice it in small, ordinary moments. The way they look at you without judgment, the way their words settle your heart, the way their presence shields you from the noise of the world. These are not coincidences. They are divine confirmations, subtle yet undeniable, proof that what you are experiencing is anchored by something far greater than fleeting emotion. And this peace, this profound, stilling assurance, does not dissipate when challenges arise. On the contrary, it becomes most evident when life's storms appear. Where counterfeit relationships falter under pressure, God-ordained love stands firm, resilient, and unshakable. The next unmistakable sign goes even deeper, beyond feelings, beyond peace. It reaches into the very mission for which your life was designed. God does not simply pair two hearts in isolation. He aligns two callings, two paths, two stories, in a way that amplifies the impact they are meant to have on the world. When He ordains someone for you, their presence does more than soothe. It propels, it advances, it ignites purpose. Their strengths naturally complement your weaknesses. Their vision intertwines with yours, not because you share hobbies, careers, or personalities, but because you are moving toward the same divine horizon. Conversations with them effortlessly drift toward what matters most: the bigger picture, the mission, the calling that transcends individual desires. Kingdom alignment, divine partnership, is not always romantic at first. It may begin as a subtle awareness that your growth, your discipline, and your faith are sharpened simply by their presence. You may sense it before you even recognize your own feelings. The enemy fears these alignments because two souls united in love and purpose are unstoppable, a force that cannot be derailed by distraction or false allure. And this alignment manifests in practical ways, in actions that reveal the sacred coordination of your journeys. They celebrate your victories, pray for your calling, encourage you when the weight of your mission feels unbearable, and join you in advancing toward heaven's agenda on earth. The right partnership does not divert you, it accelerates you. Opportunities arise, doors swing open that would have remained closed without their presence, not because they are a talisman or charm, but because God blesses partnerships that are designed for eternal significance. The impact of such a union is multiplied, not merely added, magnified far beyond what either could accomplish alone. And in this revelation, you begin to understand why waiting was necessary. God was protecting more than your heart. He was protecting your destiny from delay. The wrong person, however enticing, could have derailed years of calling, diverted your focus, and obscured the path He had mapped for you. The right one, however, arrives as a catalyst, a fellow laborer, a co-architect of your shared kingdom mission, walking beside you as an equal, a partner, and a fellow warrior. When God ordains a relationship, it is not fragile, and it is not contingent on your ability to control every outcome or predict every challenge. It exists on a foundation far deeper than fleeting human emotion, sealed by a covenant that heaven recognizes and hell fears. This does not mean that storms, misunderstandings, or life pressures will never arrive. You will feel the waves. You will hear the thunder. You may even experience moments of doubt or tension that threaten to make you question whether it is worth holding on. Yet the truth of God's design is unshakable. No attack, no betrayal, no external circumstance can uproot what He has planted. The enemy will attempt to mimic chaos, to sow discord where there is unity, to whisper lies and plant seeds of division. But his efforts are always limited. Just as a storm cannot uproot a tree with roots that reach deep into fertile soil, so too the relationship that God has ordained will endure, held firm by something eternal, invisible, and uncompromisingly strong. You will witness evidence of this divine protection in moments that almost defy explanation, instances so precise they seem orchestrated by the hand of God alone. When tension begins to widen the gap between you, an unexpected conversation restores understanding. When financial pressures threaten stability, provision appears in perfect timing. When false words attempt to poison the connection, truth emerges in ways that leave no room for doubt. These are not coincidences or chance encounters. They are the subtle, perfect movements of heaven defending something sacred. Protection in God-ordained love does not mean that challenges will vanish, that tears will be absent, or that life's weight will feel light. It means that through every battle, every test, every season of pressure, the root connection remains intact, anchored in the unmovable hand of God. The very essence of divine love is resilience. It teaches you to hold fast, to pray harder, to trust more deeply, and to see that even when you feel weakest, the bond persists, because the author of your story will not allow it to be destroyed. You will realize that every small victory, every ordinary moment that preserves harmony or restores peace is a weapon of heaven. God uses the ordinary to accomplish the extraordinary. A phone call at the perfect time, a word spoken in gentleness when anger could have erupted, a look of understanding that halts escalation. These are the mechanisms by which he shields and sustains what is his. And when you recognize this, you will understand that the protection surrounding divine love is not passive. It is active, vigilant, and constantly at work, preserving what the enemy aims to destroy and ensuring that your connection not only survives, but flourishes. This divine safeguarding leads into another profound reality. God does not send someone into your life merely to be a companion or comfort. He sends someone to catalyze transformation, to expand your capacity, and to ignite the best within you. The person he ordains will never seek to diminish your light or to contain your calling. They will not require you to shrink or suppress your gifts to allow them to shine brighter. On the contrary, their presence will feel like oxygen to your spirit, invigorating, energizing, and aligning with the fullness of who you were created to be. With them, you will feel more alive, more confident, and more attuned to your purpose. Their love is not manipulative, coercive, or conditional. It is steady, affirming, and empowering. It does not cage or confine. It elevates, drawing out qualities that might have remained dormant without their influence. This partnership nurtures growth naturally, inviting you to rise higher without pressure, to expand into potential that might have remained unrealized. They celebrate your victories without envy, speak life into your dreams without judgment, and provide a steady encouragement that strengthens rather than overwhelms. Where counterfeit relationships drain, manipulate, or distort, divine love fuels, inspires, and clarifies. You will begin to notice subtle yet powerful changes within yourself. Patience deepening, discipline solidifying, faith becoming more resilient, and courage emerging in areas where fear once held sway. It is not perfection that marks this love, but transformation, the kind that moves quietly yet profoundly, reshaping your heart and mind to reflect the divine intention behind your union. Through their influence, you will discover that challenges are not obstacles meant to break you, but invitations to grow, opportunities to rise in character, fortitude, and spiritual maturity. Their challenges are not confrontations of control, but catalysts for expansion, gentle prompts that draw you toward the full expression of your God-given identity. And as this transformation unfolds, it will spill over into every corner of your life. You will find boldness in areas where fear once reigned, renewed passion for your calling, and a clarity of vision that allows you to step into assignments with confidence and courage. Their presence is a mirror and a guide, revealing both the potential and the purpose that God has inscribed upon your life. Aligned purpose, divine protection, and transformational growth converge to form the unmistakable hallmarks of a God-ordained relationship. And yet, there is an even more intimate personal confirmation that occurs at the very core of your being. When the one God sends enters your life, there is a knowing, a quiet, profound recognition that transcends outward signs, external validation, or the applause of those around you. You do not need fireworks, dramatic displays, or confirmation from 1,000 voices to recognize the truth. The Holy Spirit within whispers a certainty so steady, so undeniable, that it penetrates every doubt, every hesitation, every question that might have lingered in your mind. This is it says, not with urgency or panic, but with the calm assurance that only heaven can provide. In that moment, all prior experiences, the heartbreaks, the lonely nights, the lessons in patience, and the seasons of preparation, suddenly fall into perspective. Every tear, Every prayer, every wait takes on profound meaning, as if the puzzle of your life has been delicately assembled, each piece placed with divine precision, culminating in this sacred intersection of heart, purpose, and destiny. There is no need to wrestle, no need to beg for their presence, no pressure to mold yourself into a version that you are not to secure their love. God's choice does not demand compromise of your essence. It does not ask you to diminish your light or contort your spirit. You simply know. The recognition is quiet, unshakable, and all-encompassing. It is the difference between chasing shadows and walking confidently in the light of certainty. And within this recognition, a deep peace accompanies understanding. It flows steadily, unobtrusively, like a river that carries with it both calm and momentum, moving toward fulfillment without forcing or straining. It is not a dramatic, cinematic spectacle that explodes and fades, but a steady, enduring flame that grows brighter with each passing season. When this love arrives, it feels like home, a sanctuary, not just for your heart, but for your soul. The kind of home your spirit has longed for, even before you could articulate it. And this arrival, this intersection of divine timing and sacred alignment, is not merely for the sake of personal happiness or fleeting joy. It is for your destiny. Every aspect of God-ordained love serves a greater purpose, advancing the mission, the calling, and the divine assignment placed upon your life. When the one who holds your future finally stands before you, you will recognize them instantly, without hesitation, without doubt, without need for signs in the sky or confirmation from the world. The spirit within you will resonate with the unmistakable clarity that this union was crafted by God, that it was preserved, protected, and prepared for this exact moment in time. In that recognition, you will feel a weight lift, a tension dissolve, and an expansive freedom emerge, as if your soul has been waiting for this alignment all along. Every battle, every lonely night, every season of anticipation converges into understanding, allowing you to see with divine clarity that nothing has been wasted, nothing has been in vain, and that the one before you is exactly who heaven intended to send. Part of embracing this reality is understanding the sacred responsibility you hold over your own heart. Guard it as the most precious treasure, the crown jewel of heaven itself, because not everyone who crosses your path is capable of carrying it with reverence. Do not trade it for counterfeits, do not surrender it to those who cannot honor its value, and do not allow compromise to dilute the sacred essence of what God has preserved for you. The one who comes at the appointed time will not only love you, they will elevate you, refine you, and amplify the gifts, dreams, and calling God has placed upon your life. They will be a partner in the truest sense, one who walks beside you in both joy and struggle, celebrating victories and enduring trials together with steadfast faith. And as you wait with holy defiance against the temptation to settle, as you trust in the timing of heaven rather than the urgencies of the world, you cultivate readiness in your spirit, preparing to receive not merely a lover, but a co-laborer, a fellow warrior, a catalyst for growth, and a companion for destiny. Waiting becomes an act of faith, a declaration that you will not compromise, that you are not for sale, and that your heart is reserved for what God has ordained. Each moment of anticipation, each season of preparation is a layer of fortification, ensuring that when the appointed time arrives, you step into the fullness of what has been written for you with clarity, confidence, and courage. You will understand that the waiting, the guarding, and the refining were not burdens imposed by circumstance, but divine preparations, aligning your heart, your spirit, and your purpose for the arrival of the one who has been sent to walk beside you in both love and destiny. The connection will not just be a matter of emotion or proximity. It will be a living, breathing reflection of divine orchestration, a relationship where growth, alignment, and protection converge to create something sacred, unshakable, and transformative. The culmination of all these signs, the peace, the purpose alignment, the divine protection, and the transformative growth, leads to a final, unshakable truth. When God sends someone into your life, you will simply know. There will be no wrestling to fit the pieces together, no desperate efforts to force love into spaces it was never meant to occupy, and no need to compromise the core of who you are. You will not have to dim your light, contort your spirit, or suppress the unique fire God placed within you to accommodate someone else. Instead, recognition will arrive quietly yet powerfully, like a river flowing steadily toward its intended course. It will not roar or demand attention, but its presence will be undeniable, unstoppable, carrying with it both peace and purpose. The connection will feel like home, a sanctuary for your soul, a place where silence is comfortable, disagreements are handled with respect, and vulnerability is met with freedom rather than danger. When the right person steps into your life, every prior season of waiting, every lonely night, every tear shed in anticipation will suddenly make sense. You will understand why God preserved your heart, why He delayed the timing, and why He guarded your destiny from being compromised by relationships that could have derailed your calling. This is a love that is not just for happiness or fleeting joy. It is a love designed for your destiny, one that elevates your purpose, amplifies your strengths, and nurtures the gifts God has placed within you. The one sent by heaven will not seek to compete with you, to control you, or to overshadow your calling. They will be a partner, a co-laborer, a fellow warrior, and a catalyst for your growth, pushing you to rise higher, inspiring you to embrace your fullest potential, and providing a steady encouragement that strengthens rather than smothers. Their presence will ignite courage where fear once reigned, renew boldness where hesitation lingered, and deepen faith where doubt once crept in. You will notice their influence subtly at first, through the ways your prayers deepen, your vision clarifies, your confidence grows, and your soul expands in response to their love and God's orchestration. They will celebrate your victories without envy, speak life into your dreams without judgment, and challenge you not to break you, but to elevate you. This is the kind of love that transforms you from the inside out, revealing both who you are and who you are called to become. And when the appointed time arrives, when heaven's choice finally stands before you, you will recognize them instantly, without hesitation or doubt. The Holy Spirit within will whisper with quiet authority, "This is it." Every battle you endured, every lonely night you spent waiting, every prayer and act of faith will converge into clarity. Your heart will exhale, your soul will recognize home, and you will step into a love that was designed not merely for companionship, but for destiny, purpose, and divine alignment. Guard your heart, remain steadfast in faith, and trust in God's timing. For when He moves, you will know without question, and your life will never be the same.